Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, November 19th, Combat Masteries. It is 13:16 p.m., which is 1:16 p.m. in the United Kingdom, 20th of November. So the next reveal is in about 3 hours. That might change a lot of what's going to happen. So to keep this as short as possible at the beginning, before I go in depth with my choices on why, I'm going to go over everything so far of what I'm doing and what's changed. So some of this has changed and whatnot. Now, my tier 1 relic is most likely going to be the Animal Wrangler. I don't think I'm going to be running Golden God. It depends what it's against, but I should be able to make money in my regions. My regions are going to be Mauritania, Fremennik, and Taranwin. My previous video was mentioning Varlamore over Taranwin. I will explain why I've decided to swap later, but I am going to be going very into the melee build, which I'll expose. The Grimoire, I really want the Grimoire. Like, I really want it. It seems so fun to play with. But the more I look at my regions, the ones I just mentioned, there is no herb patches and stuff. There's like 2. So herb lore and farming will be a nightmare. But I'm playing for fun, not to complete my region, so I still think I'm going to go to the Grimoire. And if I end my region with 99 herb lore, 99 farming instead of 50 mil, but I have a load of fun, probably the best way. Going back to the Grimoire quickly, though, the Augury and the Rigor isn't actually that good because there's barely anything that I'm actually going to range. I think it'll come in handy, though, for like the Inferno, so that should be quite nice. Combo item drops are basically irrelevant. I can get an Avernic Defender, but other than that, other ones are just the same. Now, I'm not going Varlamore anymore, so I've lost the Ultor Ring, but going Fremennik gives you the best amulet and ring in the game anyway, so that doesn't matter. Teleport relics, I will be going to be a Clue Compass. I think this is by far the strongest. It's incredible for my region. I can literally teleport to Barrow's Chest. I can teleport to the Grotesque Gargoyles. I can fly all over the place, bro. If I keep the Clue Scroll that's digged by the Dagon Lair, I can teleport to the Dagon Lair as well, which is great. Which obviously may answer the next one, Total Recall versus Banker's Note. I am most likely going to be playing with Banker's Note. And finally, Overgrown is the farming one. I think, again, this one's up against the Arcane Grimoire. I think I would have more fun playing with the Grimoire, but I did say I wanted to play the most late-game relics possible, but I do think the farming relic is the better one for, like, the late game, but the Grimoire is just more fun to play with, so I'm probably going to go with the Grimoire. So, yeah. Right. That's basically everything. Now I'm going to tell you why. It's just if you wanted to know what I was actually going to do. So that's basically it. Oh, Combat Masteries. I didn't mention that one. So the Combat Masteries, this is a big image, so I'm just going to be dragging around my recorder, so the video's going to be scuffed. I am going 6-3-1. So there's a lot of information here. I'm not going to go read it all because I don't really think I have to. You should have seen this before if you know the leagues. If you are out of date, then the main one to look at is the tier 6 in melee. What it does is provide me an Echo, and Echo is the tier 2. And that with a Scythe should be really good. I wanted to play melee the whole time, and I think it'll be fun. So my plan is to go tier 6 into melee, and then I'm going to go in tier 3 into range for the 1-tick extra, and it should get a 1-tick blowpipe with that as well. And then the last point, I don't care about this. A 1-tick blowpipe, it'll be good, but there's precious little I kill with that, and I might just go chuck this into magic, because then I might get a bit of mage, which would be nice. But I did some research. If I pull the recorder down here to the very bottom left of the recorder, I can unlock Combat Masteries by completing the following tasks. I don't know if you can see my cursor right now. I really hope you can. This one down here. I can get all these top 6 done in the first 5 hours, probably. The leagues are very quick to progress through, including completing tasks and doing stuff. I can probably just get those done. And if I glass everything into melee, which is my plan, I should have tier 6 melee in like 5 hours, which won't be the best because I won't have a scythe, but it's going to be fun. That's the plan. I also get a passive, which is going to be this prayer predication. If I actually do get tier 6 melee really fast and I have high melee, I can probably go straight to the gauntlet and just kill the Hunlith with melee. And if I'm just Wooks walking the whole time, the tornadoes will fall into place. So I can possibly do that. I don't know yet. But I do think as well, Corrupted Gauntlet, not the Echo one might be way harder, but the Corrupted one with that, it should be faster than killing it in the main game with tier 3 range and mage and max stats and all that stuff, so that's how that all works. But yeah, so that's roughly where I am. Now let me go explain why I'm doing most of this. So one of them, the Harpoon, I don't really know. I'm not sold on the Harpoon. I just haven't done much research. But as far as I'm aware, I don't care about this. Woodcutting's fine. There's loads of places I can do like 2 tick-teaks if I want to do it quick. Banker's Note lets me bank the logs. I can use the logs for construction, so they go hand in hand together. So don't think I need that. The Echo Pickaxe, I've not, again, fully checked. There's a few iron ores. I don't have access to the granite mine, but there's a few iron ore locations where I can mine. But there's only 3. I don't think I've got any 4s in my region, but I will have a look. So I don't know yet on that, but I do have access to the Blast Furnace of Fremennik, so smithing is easy, so I don't need that. And then the Harpoon, as far as I'm aware, if it works with Karambwans, you can AFK Karambwans whenever you're chilling. But this one does seem to be the best, because you also get this Hunter Traps Never Fail thing. and I will have red chins in Prifdinus as well, so I can catch chins. Nowhere real good to throw them, but I can still get the chins, and that's just something I want to get. Golden God, the reason why I'm not really going Golden God is I have access to Vorkath, and completion of Vorkath will give me so much prayer. Again, bankers note, I can bank the bones in the inventory, stack them up, and then use them on my own gilded altar that I can make because I'm in Fremennik. So prayer shouldn't be too much of an issue because I also have to kill thousands of Vorkath to complete the actual drops that it gets for the points. So Golden God, I don't know what it's against as of yet, though. I really don't know, but as far as I'm aware, all these problems are solved. You might not ask where money comes from. Money in the early game might be a bit difficult, but later on I'm going the Mauritania region, and Mauritania has access to hard mode Theater of Blood, which I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to be glassed into melee with a blowpipe for Nylakas, and I will get purples 100% completions on hard mode Tob with the team I run with. All the TOB items out for so much money that I will make so much money that I don't need Golden God, in my opinion, to do my goals. Now, the reason why I've swapped to Taramwim is mainly because with the combat masteries, if I go back up, these combat masteries, I was saying forever, Valamor is a perfect region for melee only because there's nothing you need to do in Valamor that's not melee, except for maybe Veneta bowing the Fremenniks in the Colosseum or something like that, or just Veneta bowing the Colosseum because it's very good. But as soon as I realized I can have insanely strong melee and decently strong range and magic, decently as in a bit better than the normal game, I realized that I was more interested in once again going back to having that incredibly high DPS. I had some fun with some DPS calculators, and the main reason I didn't want to go Taranwin with a melee build is because I have access to the Hunlurf, which is mage, range, or melee, and I also have access to Zulrah, which is obviously only mage and range. Going back to what I said with the Masteries, if I have the 60% prayer penetration on my tier 6 melee, if I pull the recorder over again, if I have this, I could probably just kill the corrupted Hunlurf just with melee. And then the Echo Hunlurf, I don't know yet, but I could use the bulk of melee or maybe just test it all out. And if it's trash, I don't mind. I can obviously swap back to mage or range. Going to the point that I'm going to have the Arcane Grimoire as well, I will be able to use Rigor and Augury as well, although I don't think it's going to be that good. So I did some DPS calcs, and with that, I should be able to kill the Hunlurf fairly simple with melee, I'm hoping. Which means I don't need major range that much for that grind. Zulrah does suck, but I can use a one-tick blowpipe on Zulrah, which does look to be the best DPS I can get. Why do I not want the 5th range hit heals 5? I have bankers know I don't think I'm really going to need much health or healing. Melee's the bulk of my grind, and melee comes with the healing anyway. So I think just getting this little extra 50% magic, this one here, the 90% of my max hit mage is increased, I think is just probably the better play. So that is the plan with that one. So that's why I've swapped from Valamor to Ramen. Also, I will be losing the Echo Soul fight. It is the only Grandmaster fight. It is very tempting, but I honestly also believe that the Taranwin fight, there is no way the Echo Hunlurf can be a bad fight. It is going to just simply be permanent tornadoes on you at the same time as the floor moving all over the place, so the whole thing is just movement and trading hits correctly, which on a melee build could be a little tough, but I do like the idea of it. Echo Soul, again, no idea, could be the best fight in the game, but it also has the highest chance to be the worst fight in the game, because this one, imagine you spawn in, bro, and you have 1 doom, so you can't make any mistakes, and there's 3 lots of bees. You literally just have all the invocations turned on in the actual Colosseum. You know, if you go in, there's 3 lots of bees, there's a quartet, there's solar flares, there's things blowing up, there's the Doom Scorpion returns or anything like that. This fight would freaking suck. Now, I obviously don't know. This is speculation. If the fight's the best thing ever, then obviously my guess is wrong. You know, I just think there's a chance this could suck. And if I do go Valamor, I would go Valamor as my first region, and it's then locked in. So that's why I made the decision to not bother doing this. I also don't really care for the Sunlight Spear or the Braces. The Braces are nice. I probably won't need them with my healing anyway. And the Sunlight Spear, I would like to use the Scythe. This could be absolutely cracked, but I have absolutely no idea. But again, on a melee build, I get the Crystal Blessing. And just to say, it is confirmed that you do need full crystal for your melee weapons. You have to wear full crystal and wear the Blessing. If you don't get it. So don't go to like Asgarnia and Taranwin and wear full Torv with the Blessing. That would make you less than a walker, bro. If you do that, you might as well choose Kandarin, bro. Like, you might as well go Kandarin and go fight this, you know. The thing I really want to know is the mechanics to the thermonuclear Echo Smoke Devil, bro, because there's going to be no one in the game that actually ever... bro, Kandarin. So, yeah, that's the plan right there. I did some DPS calcs as well. I'm a bit disappointed, but with the Mauritania stuff, the Gloves of the Damned for Carols and double hits is not better than Blowpipe, T-Bow, or any of that stuff on any grind that I have to do, which is whatever. Going to the Fremenic region as well, actually, I do have the Grumbler, the Phantom Moosebur as a grind. I did a DPS calc, and I can Scythe that thing and destroy it. So the Scythe will work on everything there. It's the only grind I didn't want to do. The Scythe is also highest DPS on all 3 of the Dagon of Kings. I don't know about the Echo variants. I'm pretty sure the Echo variants are going to be, like, potentially immune, but then there's the 60% prayer penetration, so we'll see with that. Again, these Echo items, the Monarchs and the Emperor Ring, just the best thing in the game for every single different style. Even though I'm mainly using melee, these are just insane. And then as for this, Gloves of the Damned, I did find this out as well, which made me really happy. You don't get Barrow's Gloves. The last league, I didn't realize I didn't have them because I was a mage. I had Tormented Brace the whole time for everything because I was in Kandering because it was mandatory at the point to do Mage with Shadow because it was so good. Now I realize I didn't have Barrow's Gloves. I would have had Myth or a Regen Bracelet. This time I get Gloves of the Damned, which are the same as Barrows, so that's a nice strength bonus game, so that's quite nice. But yeah, that's regions, so I have changed from Varlamor to Tsaranwen, borderline locked those in, I'm very happy. I'm probably going to go Mauritania as my first region, because I'm thinking if I do rush those Masteries and train Combat and Slayer, I can get high melee and then go do Tsaranwen. So I might go Mauritania, Tsaranwen, and Fremenic, which could also be very stupid. There's not really too much that's bad. You can get yourself a bit bottlenecked, but you're not going to ruin the league. But I do like the idea of that. I did check the Io Earth dungeon for Slayer tasks. It only has Blood Veils that are decent, but having access to the Slayer Tower has access to a lot of good Slayer tasks for myself. So I'm thinking I will probably run Mauritania first. Kind of glass a bit into the Slayer. Obviously, I need to complete tasks to get relics and stuff to be more powerful, blah, blah, blah. But if I do end up getting 100 combat, quick killing Jad and all that, which I can melee the Fire Cape, then I will be able to basically have tier 6 melee instantly. So that should be pretty sweet. But yeah, that's the plan. Mauritania, Tsaranwen, Fremenic, probably in that order, not confirmed. I will work it out. Now the Grimoire, the Grimoire is actually put up against the Overgrown. Now the Overgrown is definitely, I did say that I really wanted to go the late game relics, but the Overgrown is definitely the late game relic. You almost have to take this with my regions because I only have access to like 2, maybe 3 farm patches after the Mauritania Elite Diary. I get Harmony Island, I get Mauritania by the place with the farmers, and then I get Weiss. You know, you don't get Troll Stronghold either, so I have 3 farming patches, 2 of which I can get to, well, all of them I can get to really quick, which is very nice. But growing things, I don't think I'll run out of potions, but it's going to kind of suck. But that's why I think 50 mil Herblore and 50 mil farming. Farming I could do with trees, depending what tree spots I've got. I've not thought of that. I know I've got Varrock, I've got Lumberage, Letya, so I've got a few good ones, so it should be all right. But the Herblore part might be pretty difficult to get to 50 mil, so I've decided, currently, I don't care about completing every task. If I do every task in my region, except for 50 mil Herblore, 25 mil Herblore, 35 mil farming, whatever the hell, don't care. I'd rather use the Grimoire and have a lot of fun. I think it does sound fun. Plus, I don't go desert. I can spellbox up to Ancients, and that means I can kill Abyssal Sire in Mistfallen, and I can use the Scythe for that, so it's going to be good. Combo item drops. I'm not going to open this image. It really doesn't change much for me at all. I get access to Guardian Boots, maybe, which are probably going to be trash from Mauritania, and I also get the Avernic Defender from TOB, which will probably help for a bit, but I have a feeling Scythes are going to come flying in the game. With the permanent purples, realistically, 1 day of grinding should get the Scythe, and if you go dry, maximum 2-3 days, you know. Don't hold me to that, please, if I go dry, but if I go hard, it should be fine to do that one, so it's good. Teleport Relics, I'm a Clue Compass. Without any doubt, I think this is the best one. There are pros and cons to all of them, depending on what regions you go, but I do think the Clue Compass is just the best, because it's not about teleporting to a bank to bank things. If it was that, all 3 of them have teleports to banks in 1 game tick, basically. This one here, the Clue one, you can teleport to a stash unit in Shiloh Village, and there's a bank there. Beautiful. It's more for navigation around the game. This one is great because, 1, if I have a clue scroll in Fremenic that takes me to the Dagon of Kings, I can use that to get to the Echo Dagon of Kings, which is great. You know, if I ever die, you know, if I've got Banker's Notes so I can unlock stuff, but if I ever die, then I can get back quick. It's also got a stash unit right outside the Echo Gargoyles, so that's absolutely beautiful. It's got an Echo by the Barrow, a stash unit by the Barrows chest, so I can actually use the Grimoire from before to spellbook swap to Arceus, use the Barrows teleport, What did I just do? Oh, sorry, I thought I did something weird then. Use the Barrows teleport back and then repeat that process, so Barrows will be pretty cozy. So that should be good. But yeah, the plan is that. I don't think it can go wrong. I really think this is where you can regret a relic. I think the Clue Compass is the safe bet that you just can't regret, really. Total Recall versus Banker's Note. I put a lot of thought into this. The way I word this is I think that Total Recall is a PVM relic and Banker's Note is a skilling relic. But they obviously do have bit of perks in each side. However, I don't think there's really any skilling ground at all that Total Recall can beat Banker's Note in the long term. Every skill 50 mil, I think Banker's Note wins. Plus, you can 0 time some skills and stuff like that. Total Recall for PVM. There's no good special attack weapons in the regions that I'm actually going. Assuming, like, my best weapon, I think, might be Burning Claws from Tormented Demons. And I think that really heavily relies on having the 100% spec recharge, and you just go in and bop, like, 5 claw specs if you're going Karen with a spec relic, let's say. I'm planning to scythe everything. So the scythe, fair enough, my health goes down, my prayer's going to go down. I will use more supplies with my lack of farming patches and all that stuff. But I think things will die so fast as well that even if I one-tick flick, I can maintain prayer pots. Food, no problem at all, because I'm going to be a harpooner. So I think the Banker's Note for me, again, feels like the late-game relic. It feels like it won't fall off in places. There'll be places where it's a bit less fun to play the game, because Total Recall will be great. But I also think Total Recall will not help for the Corrupted Gauntlet grind, and it won't really help for the Data of Blood. It might also not help for the Fasani's Nightmare, really. It probably does for that, actually. There's also a stash unit by Zulrah, and there's also a clue step by Fasani's Nightmare, which might be a trek because you have to run around. But that's another one there. So I think Banker's Note for me, it lets me do some skills. It also makes skilling a lot more fun. That's one thing I didn't do last league. I looked at Banker's Note and Fire Sale, and I was like, Banker's Note, I don't give a shit. I don't need more food or supplies at a boss. I'm going to have cracked out mage bonus, infinite health, basically. I don't need it. What I didn't think about was you can skill with Banker's Note, and it's great. So when I did my second build and messed around with the different relics I didn't use, I realized it was a fantastic relic. So I am definitely going to run Banker's Note this time. As for Overgrown, like I said, this one is very good. It is very good, but I think I'm going to have way more fun using the Arcane Grimoire. So that's basically where I stand at the moment with the gameplay. To reiterate, I'm probably going to go to Mauritania as a first region, train a fair bit of melee if I can, and I'm going to try and rush this tier 6 in the top right to get my melee chance. It won't be good till I get a scythe, but I will still get 2-tick melee on other stuff, healing, and all that stuff. It's not the best, but it'll be good. I also then will get this passive of the 60% prayer penetration. Again, I'm going to take a wild prediction and say it's probably going to be better to just attack things with the off style, even if it's not as powerful, than use that. But I think maybe in the, like, something like the Corrupted Gauntlet, that might still be better. Because the Hunlif will pray melee, and I can probably just bop its head the whole time, which could be pretty cool. As for Echo bosses, I don't know if they're going to pray, but again, if they are praying, I'm pretty sure changing style is probably going to be more DPS. Specifically, the Dagon of King ones. There's going to be Tribrid there. The Echo Hunlif's probably going to be Tribrid or Hybrid, and then the Gargoyle boss is going to be Hybrid, I think, because it's going to be melee and range. That's again why we're going here, because I should have a 1-tick blowpipe for the DPS stage on the Gargoyle, so that'll be pretty good. Unlocking the combat masteries at the bottom, defeat a giant, 10 monsters, Scorious, monster with a Slayer count 55, I'll just go bop a cave horror, it's no problem. Jad, no problem, 100 combat. If I do some tasks, get a few relics under the belt, and then just go train Slayer, all of these 6, in my opinion, come within the first 5-10 hours of the league. I have tier 6 melee immediately. If I have tier 6 melee, and let's just say 90 stats, I can probably go straight into the Corrupted Gauntlet and bop the Hunlif with melee only, just because of the 60% prayer penetration. That might not work. This is how I'm going to play. It could all be so bad. There's also this one I forgot to mention, but at passive tier 3, you get all accuracy 100%. So yeah, this one as well, when I do 3 into range, it's 6 in melee, 3 in range, then 1 in magic, but this one gives me a 4-tick T-bow, which will be quite nice maybe for some things, but I do think the scythe literally obliterates everything. I think when I do get my T-bow, I will probably just send it on Zook, and that's probably about it. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the up-to-date for my league. There'll be another reveal in a few moments. Now, I've just realized that Jagex have tweeted out a few small changes. I'm going to go check them all now, live, and tell you how I feel about them. All right, we're on my Twitter now, so this might have some weird stuff in the sign. You know, Tyson versus Jake the Goat Paul, bro. Mate, honestly, when Jake Paul fights Canelo, I reckon Canelo's going to lose, mate. It's going to be the biggest shock in sport history, bro. I cannot wait for that. Rocks, trees, respawnable. I'm reading all these live. And main world NPCs will respawn faster than the main game. Pretty good. I like that. Mini reveal number 3. Clans can now care about that. Number 4. Zulrah is no longer immune to melee damage and has no damage cap, meaning melee weapons that can reach are viable to run with, baby. And I can get that halberd, bro. Oh my god, that has made that grind even better. Rather than receiving a twisted bow from this, you will receive a mega rare voucher which can be given. Oh my god, that's so good. Scythe off the rip, bro. So good. Instances have been created for Cerberus, Serapnus, and the thermonuclear. Come on, bro. We've also removed the timer when attempting to enter a Dagon of Kings instance shortly after leaving. So Dagon of Kings are instance by default. That's good. Tormented demons will be accessible without needing to complete Wild Gothic Sleeps, meaning the only requirement's a Sapphire Lantern. Very nice. That's Ember Light, which will probably be trash. I don't think I'm going to need that. Or 2-tick Ember Light could be pretty solid, actually, on some monsters, but I think Scythe destroys it in every single way. Potion... this is Freminic! Wait, potion and an ingredient source during the Dukes of Kellis fight will no longer be removed from your inventory. What does that mean? I just prep 1,000 potions and go? Or can I just literally use 1 potion, 2 potions forever? Bro, if the potion actually genuinely... During the fight... Yeah, I'm going to guess by the inventory that I don't just make 1 potion and go with that. Other than that, bro, they're the best reveals ever. They were really, really good for me. I think there was just nothing bad. Oh, mate, I can actually... Okay, going back to what I said, I can kill Zulrah with the Poison Noxious Halberd from that boss, Araxor, because Araxor's in Mauritania, so I can kill Zulrah with that. So again, if I rush Slayer, if I genuinely rush Slayer in Mauritania and get like 93 or whatever it is, I probably don't want to do a Araxor without the Scythe, though, and I can definitely do TOB with just a whip with my relics, specifically hard mode as well, should be completely fine. So I think Zulrah on the back burner, but once I get the Scythe, I can do everything, you know. The goal is Scythe, get max gear, bop. That's the goal. Scythe, max gear, bop. Anyways, this might be my second last video, or penultimate video on the league's plans and relics, because I don't think I'm gonna make, even if everything I say now gets flipped on its head, like in 2 hours from now, I'm not gonna make a video immediately. I will make my final video on the final reveal, which I think is on Monday the 25th. I'll lock everything in, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. So that's the league. I'm excited, but I think I'm going to play a bit fun. I'm going to absolutely bop every combat mastery into melee from the beginning, go and see if it's any good on the Hunlith, and if it does go well, kill the Echo Hunlith. If it goes well on that, which I doubt, then I might get their blessing immediately, and that could be pretty sweet. But yeah, I'm going to go bop Zulrah's head off with the Noxious Halberd. So life is good. I'll see you all in the last video, and I will see you all in the league. Many videos join the league, by the way. Just saying. The reason I've not made any videos recently is I've not had any good footage, so yeah.